Welcome everybody. Today's video finds us over here in Siem Reap. We're in Cambodia. And what's behind me, if you can't tell from all the trees, but the moat should be a dead giveaway. We're standing right over here in front of Angkor Wat. This is the crown jewel of Khmer architecture. This was completed in like 1150 by King Suryavarman II, I think. And it was a little bit different. It's a Hindu temple, but it's orientated to the west instead of the east. And there's some of the best stone carvings that you will ever find in Cambodia. And it's supposedly was built to be his place where he was going to be interred, his ashes. So anyway, there's been a million videos done of this, but this is my video, so I'll just show you around and we'll look at it through my eyes today and we'll enjoy it. And what people don't appreciate when they come here is the absolute scale. So this is the largest religious complex in the world. It covers 400 acres. Now there's an island surrounded by the moat, and the moat is bigger than any moat around a castle in Europe. And they lined the sides of the moat with sandstone. And it is just absolutely colossal. So we'll go through a series of entrances. We'll walk across that little causeway right over there, the little Naga line bridge, and we'll go through the first gate. We'll see some carvings, then we'll go into a courtyard, and then we'll go through another gate, and then we'll go into the main part. So this is a real treat. Let's enjoy this. So walking just from the corner over there over to the little causeway is a hall. The moat itself is 5 kilometers around. Now it took about 20 to 30 years or so to build this temple. I think they used a total, like at one point had 300,000 laborers here with 6,000 elephants moving these 300,000 tons of sandstone into place. They quarried them. Some of them are like 1.5 tons, the stones. So they quarried them and they floated them down a river from the Kulin Mountains down here. But what a colossal undertaking. And this is just one of the temples in this area. This is the causeway that leads you across the moat. Now at one time it had these Naga and the lions on the perimeter of it. They're currently doing some renovation here. This was closed last time I came. We had to take the little plastic bridge over. You can see they're doing some more renovation there. You can see all the sandstone that they lined this moat with. Now these stones themselves are huge. You can see where they drilled the holes in it, and they could move them that way. They would put a piece of wood in there, set the stones in place, and then break the wood off. And then they have that temporary walkway over there. That's the exit right now. They're redoing this part right here. So they're building the platform back for the Khmer style lions. There would have been one on each of these little platforms. And then they would have had these stairs to go down into the water. And then over here would have been the Naga that lined the bridge, the balustrades. And these are pretty cool. They had these little pieces of stone underneath them that they carved, and then they elevated the Naga up. And these would have been all along the whole little bridge here. Okay, so we're almost to the first entrance. So we're to the west entrance here. So we'll go in this Gopura right here. You can see the styling up above that little gallery. And there's 5 entrances across here. This one over here has a Hindu shrine inside of it. This was originally a Hindu temple, and then they converted it to Buddhism under Suryavarman VII. The reason why is because the Cham came and sacked the city, and then he thought that Hinduism failed, so he converted the kingdom into Buddhism. So we can take a look here. You can see the stone carvings around the door. And then over here, this is quite cool. They got the horses and the chariots, the Aspara dancers. And then we can see the lintel over the door. And then you can see what they would have put this here into the plaster. They would have done all the floral designs. And then you go into the Gopura. The stone carvings here are just absolutely amazing. So you can see they carved all the top rails. They carved everything here. And these are what's exceptional here, is all of this. So they carved it, and then you can see they polished it. And they put all the details into like the skirt. The detail work is just fantastic. And they carved all up there, carved on the tops all around. Yeah, the Khmer, they didn't miss a beat. If there was a place for that you could see, they would put some carvings into it. Now, King Suryavarman converted the kingdom into Buddhism, but after he died, King Suryavarman VIII converted back to Hinduism. And some of the temples you go to, you can see where the Buddha images are defaced. Yeah, there was a king between Suryavarman VII and Suryavarman VIII. So you can see a massive standing figure here. And you can see that the red up there, that's all the original. So this would have been red, which would have been fantastic. This is out of the sun, so it hasn't faded all the way off. And then they just, all of these little Aspara dancers all around. It's so cool. You can see these little columns here. Not only did they carve them into the shape, but they put all the little details in it also. That's what makes Angkor Wat special. You see so much stuff like this over here. It's just so cool. A lot of them there's details, but this one here, they just went above and beyond. So if you could imagine this whenever it was new, would have just been fantastic. Now, after Angkor was abandoned in the early 15th century, there was still monks that stayed here and maintained this temple. And it was later abandoned, and then the forest took over, and in the 20th century, the West rediscovered it, and they've done a lot of restoration. So you can see one of the figures right here. All the figures carved all the way up, all across that wall right there. Just absolutely amazing. And then they have the faux windows right there. So they went all that trouble to build the window, but then they closed off with stones. Okay, so this is the courtyard here. We came through that first entrance, and there's so many things to see. All the naga, the little Khmer lions, all the stone carvings, the pediments, everything is just amazing. And we'll walk along this elevated stone path to the second entrance right over there. And there's two little libraries, and then there's some ponds inside of here we'll take a look at. Now remember, this is just the outer gate, the one when you first come across. And they took this much time, this much detail into carving it. There was the naga up there. They carved all of these columns. You can see the floral patterns that they carved into all of this, all around. And then you have all of the dancers. Yeah, the horses. You have so much stuff here. And we're not even into the main part yet. No, it's all about all the little details. So they carved every bit of the edge of this, all along the whole length, all the way up there. So there was just a team of people here chiseling away. They didn't just carve the top, they carved the bottom also. Every little detail here. Just absolutely mind-boggling. The bottom, the balustrades were carved, the balustrades themselves, and this was all into stone. So let's go into the second entrance. We'll look in one of these libraries really quick. And then you can see there would have been other buildings out here. This would have been a pilgrimage site even after the abandonment of Angkor. Yeah, there was a lot of factors that contributed to this place being abandoned. Population decline, the stuff wasn't working, external threats. So the Khmer leaders in the 15th century decided to abandon this whole area. But what was nice is the monks stayed here in this temple to maintain it. That's why it's in the shape it's in. Some of the ones that were completely abandoned have really collapsed down, but this one here still is a jewel. Let's go into this one right here. We'll go to the right today, and you can see the ponds up there, the balustrades. Just so amazing. This is the western entrance here. Everything in this temple is aligned towards the west. That's why the scholars believe it would have been like a mausoleum for Suryavarman II. And also the murals inside will be counterclockwise. So the pediments are up there. You can see all the stone carvings. They have all those little columns in the windows. And again, it's built up on a pedestal here with everything being carved. Let's go in the western entrance. It's shaped like a crucifix. You see the stone carvings here in this also. The stairs are pretty weathered, but this was completed in 1150, a few days ago. So inside of here would have been maybe like their holy books or a shrine or something like that. You can see a little bit of the red paint that's still on the walls. You can see the construction with those little cross members. Yeah, they had these stone castles down to a science. And you can see the polished floor. Just an amazing building. And inside, right there in the middle, would have been like a relic. So that's the inside of this little library. You can see the Gopura part of it's missing. And there's like holes and stuff where you can see where they drilled. And there would have been like a column here. Some of the pieces are missing, but you can see how this was all constructed. And they just stacked all these sandstone bricks. They carved the door jambs. I mean, you can see how precise they carved those. And the faux window. Oh, it's just, this place is mind-boggling. And then you can see the entrance up there, and then one of the ponds, and then there's another one over there. Now what's cool is right here where I'm standing, if you come here on March 21st or September 21st, the sun will rise right over that center beam. It'll be exactly lined up with the equinox. A popular place is to people come over here either for the sunrise, and they line this pond and they get some great sunrise photos, or the sunset. And that's a good time to visit here also. You get to see the sunset from inside of Angkor. And they're doing some renovation here, which is a shame. I kind of like this little pond, but they're digging it down and they're getting the sandstone to where you can see it again. This is down over here by this pond on the south side. You can see the reflection of the trees and that gate. Now what they're doing is they're bringing in dirt over here. They're kind of filling this back in since it's a low spot. And they'll probably come over here and restore the sandstone around this pond later on. Okay, let's walk inside now. We're up to the second entry now. You can see the original stairs are back behind there. They got the Khmer lions, more of the stone carvings. So we'll go through here. And this is the part where inside is where they'll have the 5 towers for Mount Meru. And the moat symbolizes like the Sea of Milk. There's all the Hindu mythology in this, since it was originally a Hindu temple. I think it was like 3 deities, Vishnu, Shiva, and another deity were the ones that were the main ones originally at this temple. Like I was saying about the scale, that was the first entrance we came in. And those libraries themselves at any other temple would be, you know, just amazing. And they are just small, little tiny postage stamp buildings at Angkor Wat. This place is so massive. And it's kind of funny, I'll probably get some comments about how this was built by Mon slaves or the Kham or whatever. No, this was a Khmer structure built by Khmer. This was a full-on state-sponsored enterprise. You don't have 300,000 slaves laying around to build this for 30 years. It just wouldn't make sense. This was the people, and they worked here because they saw their king as a god king. So they were dedicating their lives, working themselves to death for their god king. And you can see the carvings here. And just a massive complex. So this is the second entryway. And so this is the Gopura. They got these wooden steps to preserve the sandstone ones that are down below. So that leads into the courtyard. And then this is the gallery that goes around it. You can see they hauled all those stones in, set them in place up there. And then of course they came and they carved all the details into them. Now historians have really analyzed all of these stone sculptures. All the asperas plus all the, like the murals that are over here, and we'll look at those before we go into the middle. So this is one of the most amazing things you'll ever see. All around this wall right here are these bas-relief carvings. So there's various tales that are in them. Some of them are Hindu, some of them are scenes of the history of the Khmer. But these are all carved all around here, and it's just one continuous panel. So this one right here is the battle at Kurukshetra. It's a Hindu tale. And then you could see the rest of this. They carved everything, put the figures in down there. They put all the pattern work here. Oh, it's just absolutely amazing. Just the amount of detail that went into these. So you see how his fingers are pulling the bow. They have their hair. You see the horses, the eyes, the mane, everything is just absolutely amazing. The shields have the patterns. And this goes right here on the southwest wall. We'll circle around and then we'll go into the inside. And then more carvings in here. You can see they made the lintel up there with the deity, and then the person bowing to him. More of the figures rowing the boat. This mural here is Suryavarman II. They think this mural here was carved shortly after his death. And then you have like the general riding the elephant over here. You can see the elephant, and then the general. And they have musicians, they have just everything kind of mixed in here. And just the scale of this place is it's just ludicrous. It's how do you conceptualize building something this big and not only think it up, but then actually do it? And it's still here, you know, from the 12th century till now. This part of the wall over here, you see the soldiers. Now these were mercenaries that were hired by the Khmer. And they were from modern day Thailand. At the time would have been just a ethnic subgroup in the Khmer Empire. The gallery is split with stairs. We're on the south side. Let's go and look at some more of the murals. And so this is the heaven and hell. The heaven's up here, and the hell is down here. The hell's in a lot greater detail than the heaven up above. So they're doing stuff to the people there, cutting out tongues and chaining them up and beating them. Yeah, these murals are amazing. There's whole books written just on them. And you can see up here, you got the tiles and the roof, more stone carvings, figures everywhere. So you can see this whole gallery. It's just immense. This is back over here on the west side. We got some monks coming in. Yeah, what a massive complex this is. This is the last mural, and then we'll go inside. So we have those half monkeys, half men. They're fighting. They're biting horses. Horses are biting them. And it's just a gruesome scene. Guys with swords and spears, and that's all along this wall with, looks like the Naga, some other stuff in there. Chariots. This is the inside. So we have the 4 towers that are in here, has the little buildings. And then we'll have the center tower up here. That symbolizes Mount Meru. You can see some more of the red here. More of the carvings in the wall. Yeah, this place is just beyond belief. And we have one of their figures here. So the locals will come over and burn the incense and pray here. You can see the lintel right above the door where we're going to go into the inner courtyard. So we have another gallery right here. And this way is blocked off, but it'll go to the center prong right here. We'll go in there. Okay, so we've worked our way around to the highlight of the whole place. Not that there's not like every place here is a highlight. So you have these smaller little libraries here, the same carvings, same stonework, and then they have the 4 prongs and then the center one. This is just unbelievable, and this is on a raised platform here also. So they hauled in all this sandstone, and they built that up. And then you have the gallery with all those stone columns around. And everything again here is carved and just absolutely amazing. So they have these stairs to go up. Then you have all the lintels. Everything is up there. All the stone carvings. And then those 4 little prong with all the like little nagas on the outside, everything else. Then you have the asparas on the outside. Everything is just spectacular. So all of this is not only carved, but it's raised up, I don't know, 20, 25 meters or so, plus that center prong is way up there. All right, so we'll climb up these steps here. They say to be respectful, and you're supposed to limit your visit to 15 minutes inside of here. All right, so let's go up these stairs. You can see the original way in here. So we would have scurried up these steps. Would have been quite difficult. So this is what it looks like up here. You can see this is all still painted red also. Wow. So this is the top of the platform here. They have all these walkways, that center prong. Just absolutely amazing. So they're doing a little bit of renovation to some of this. You can see part of the pieces that have fallen off from up there. Okay, so I've been here many, many times, and it never gets boring. This is one of the most amazing places in the world. So you can see one of the standing Buddha images in there, and then there's a reclining Buddha right in front. And they've made this little shrine here. And then you've got the figures next to it on each side. They've also got the Khmer inscription here in the column. So we'll walk around and look at a couple more of the little deities. Now, whenever you come, if you come in the evening, this is the best spot right here to see the sunset. Come here around 5:30 or so, and you won't be disappointed. That's the little courtyard we came in. So I wonder if this is the original wooden crossbeams with the original wooden door. If so, that is unbelievable, because most of these rot away and you just are left with the holes. On the west side, we got one of the little Buddha images. And then one over here, part of the Naga. And then we have more of a modern Buddha right there. And this is the Buddha image on the west side. You can see bats flying around there. Now originally this would have had statues of Vishnu, and then they filled them in with stone. And whenever they opened it back up, they found some Buddha fragments and stuff in there. And this is another one of the Buddha statues with the Naga. We got some of the stone fragments here, some of the standing figures. So we're over here on the south side. The east side is supposed to be the best one, so we'll find it last. Yeah, this was converted into Buddhism by Suryavarman VII. But all the Hindu elements are all still pretty much here. And we got this standing Buddha here. This is on the south side. And this Buddha image here is almost completely fallen away. You can see some of the images on the wall behind. So this is the last one we'll look at. They have all the little images. They have the modern one back there on the wall. Then they have some fragments. This is on the east side here. And there's bats flying around. I can see them, smell all the guano. And then you can see here, they had all these columns. What a spectacular place. I came last time and several of these were under renovation. You can see the bats right there. And this is the way to the east. Yeah, all that's just jungle. They don't do anything with it. But this would have all been used whenever it was in operation. So one last look here. We came outside. This alone is fantastic, and it's inside of a massive building, inside of a massive building, inside of a massive wall, surrounded by a moat. Just absolutely a must-see if you're into stuff like this. And even if you're not, this is overwhelming. That's going to finish up our video over here at this UNESCO World Heritage Site, Angkor Wat. This is one of the best places you'll ever get a chance to visit. This was on my bucket list years ago, and I came here, and this is my, fifth or sixth time seeing Angkor Wat, and every time you see something new, there's just so much to see here. It's like really sensory overload. Plan on spending half a day here, climb some stairs, make sure you drink a lot of water, and really enjoy this place. It's a highlight for me every time I go to Cambodia, and it's one of the best places in the whole world to me. So anyway, if you enjoyed the video, smash the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, stick around, and you're notified when I post a new video. And if you know anything more that I didn't say, tell me in a comment down below, or if you have any questions or comments, or if you've been here, let me know also. But anyway, from over here in Angkor Wat, remember, life is a journey. Until next time, enjoy.